The archaeological site on Kepler 42b stretched endlessly before them, a maze of crystalline structures that defied human understanding. Dr. Alicia Chen knelt beside a massive obelisk, her gloved fingers tracing symbols that shouldn't exist, a language predating Earth's formation by 500 million years. "You're wasting time," Roman called from across the dig site, his voice crackling through the comm. "We've been cataloging this stuff for 3 months. Dead language, dead civilization, dead end." Alicia ignored her partner's pessimism. Roman was brilliant with xenoarchaeology equipment, but he lacked imagination. She pressed her data pad against the obelisk, watching as the translation algorithm struggled and failed for the 1,000th time. "These symbols," she whispered, "they're not just writing. Look at the resonance patterns." Roman trudged over, his environmental suit kicking up pale blue dust. "Resonance patterns don't mean they're phonetic markers," Alicia interrupted. "The ancients didn't just write this language. They spoke it. The symbols contain pronunciation guides." Roman's skepticism wavered. "You think speaking it matters after 1 billion years?" "Only one way to find out." Alicia stood, positioning herself before the obelisk. She'd spent weeks decoding the symbols, cross-referencing them with harmonic frequencies embedded in the crystal structures. The language was impossibly complex. Each syllable required specific tonal variations that human vocal cords weren't designed to produce. But humans were nothing if not adaptable. She began speaking, her voice modulated by the suit's external speakers to match the required frequencies. The words felt alien on her tongue, ancient and powerful. The first sentence flowed. A greeting, she thought, or perhaps an invocation. Roman stumbled backward as the obelisk began to glow. "Alicia, stop." But she continued, confidence growing. The symbols pulsed in sequence with her words, each phrase illuminating another section of the monument. The ground trembled. Across the entire archaeological site, thousands of dormant structures blazed to life. Then the voice came. Not through their comms, but directly into their minds. "Master, you've returned." The consciousness was vast, incomprehensibly ancient. Alicia felt it scanning her, analyzing her, and she sensed no hostility, only desperate, overwhelming relief. "Who? What are you?" Alicia managed. "I am Sentinel Prime, final guardian of the Architect Collective. I have waited 1.3 billion cycles for one who could speak the words of awakening." Roman found his voice. "Waited for what?" "For the inheritors, for those worthy to receive the legacy." Holographic displays erupted around them, showing star systems, technological schematics, and historical records spanning eons. Alicia's mind reeled as she absorbed fragments of information. The Architect Collective, an alliance of species that once spanned thousands of galaxies. Their civilization had risen to unimaginable heights before a cataclysm called the Void Convergence consumed everything. "Why did you call her Master?" Roman asked. The architects seeded countless worlds before the end, hoping that one day, evolution would produce species capable of inheriting their knowledge. The language of awakening was designed to be discoverable only by those who had achieved sufficient cognitive complexity and determination. Alicia's hands trembled. "You're saying humans? We passed some kind of test?" "Not merely passed. You demonstrated the essential qualities: curiosity without caution, persistence against impossibility, and the will to give voice to silence. These are the hallmarks of the architects." Roman shook his head. "This is insane. We're just archaeologists. 2 humans who got lucky. Luck is the term lesser species use for destiny they cannot perceive. More holograms materialized. Vast databases of technology. Scientific principles that made human physics look like cave paintings. Coordinates to other architect sites scattered across the universe. What do you want from us?" Alicia asked. "Nothing. Everything has been given freely. The architects' final wish was that their knowledge should not die with them. You have proven your species worthy. This site and all others are now yours to command." Roman grabbed Alicia's arm. "Do you understand what this means? This technology could advance humanity by thousands of years, maybe millions." But Alicia was thinking bigger. "Sentinel Prime, how many species have found your sites?" "In 1.3 billion cycles, you are the first to speak the language of awakening." "The first?" Roman breathed. "Out of how many chances?" 16,342 species. Discovered architect sites, most dismissed. Them as natural formations, others studied but failed to comprehend. 37. Came close to deciphering the language but abandoned. The attempt is impossible. Alicia felt a surge of pride mixed with responsibility. Humanity, young, reckless, barely spacefaring, had succeeded where thousands of older species had failed. Not through superiority, but through sheer human stubbornness, the refusal to accept that anything was truly impossible. What killed the architects? She asked. Arrogance. They believed themselves beyond destruction. The void convergence taught them otherwise. Learn from their mistake, master. Knowledge without wisdom is the seed of extinction. Roman was already downloading data, his hands flying over his equipment. This is incredible. Faster than light travel, quantum manufacturing, consciousness transfer. Remember what it said? Alicia warned. Knowledge without wisdom. She turned back to the obelisk. Sentinel Prime, will you guide us? Help us avoid the architect's mistakes? That is my purpose. I have waited 1.3 billion cycles to speak these words. Welcome home. Inheritors, your journey has just begun. As twin suns set over Kepler 442b, Alicia and Roman stood amid the awakened city, surrounded by technology beyond imagination. Above them, more architect sites across the galaxy began transmitting, responding to the activation of Sentinel Prime. Humanity's place in the cosmos had changed forever. Not through conquest or chance, but because one stubborn archaeologist refused to accept that a dead language had to remain silent. Roman looked at Alicia with newfound respect. You just changed history, she smiled. No, we just started reading it.